Whenever you place Facebook advertising or even YouTube advertising, do you feel like you're only attracting low quality leads of people who are more than likely never going to buy your product? I mean, I always dread the emails from clients whenever they're looking at the engagement on their ads and they're like, Laurel, these people would never buy from me. They don't even look like my ideal audience. Now, while there's a couple of different reasons as to why the wrong people might be seeing your content, we do want to make sure that our targeting is on point. And in this episode, I'm going to show you exactly what you need to do in order to attract your perfect client. My name is Laurel Portier, and I help entrepreneurs amplify their brand so that they can make a bigger impact on their audience using video marketing and simple paid ad strategies. And in every single episode, I'm always going to give you guys something that you can immediately implement after listening or watching each episode. And today we're going to talk about 3 different ways that you can improve your targeting when it comes to social media advertising. Okay? And so the first thing is, and this is one of the biggest things that people have a hard time doing, and that is really drilling down who they're talking to. So if you are, I'm going to use this example. So if you're a coach, and you help people who are stressed out. A lot of times people think that, well, that's as low as targeting as I want to go. But when you think about it, you've got different types of people, right? You've got women who might be stressed out because they stay at home with the kids. You have women who are entrepreneurs who are worried about making money. You have women who are trying to climb up the corporate ladder and maybe their boss is riding them hard at work, right? And you also have women who are college students who are stressed out because of tests and all of these different things. And so when we are thinking about who is our ideal audience, we always want to keep in mind who that person is. And one of the things that I like to do, and I tell my students to do this all the time, is if you even draw like just a stick figure and name it, right? Whenever we were in television, we did this. Her name was Beth. And we were like, Beth is a stay-at-home mom. She loves watching TV shows like Maury. She shops at Walmart and the dollar store and all of this stuff. Like, we knew who our ideal audience was. And it's very similar when it comes to the online marketing space too, is we want to be able to pull out those specific people. I had a client and she was trying to target women who were already making a good amount of money in their business. And when we first started her ads, we were only targeting, like the online marketing space. But then you start making little tweaks as to what does your ideal audience look like? And she was like, well, to be truthful, I don't really, target a lot of people in the South. I don't target a lot of women in the Midwest. They just don't, they just really don't fit most of my lifestyle. And so I tend to want to attract people who are on the West Coast or the East Coast, and they wear things like Lululemon, and they shop at Whole Foods, and they have a Peloton, they attend Soul Cycle, they might have a mirror, they shop at Neiman Marcus, that type of thing. And so we started actually putting these into their profile, right? We always want to keep in mind who our target avatar is. And we did this exact same thing with one of my clients who has a wholesale coaching business. And one of the things that we found out was that he actually had 2 different avatars that we were able to target. One of them were married men who were very faith-based. They went to church regularly. They had a wife. They had kids. They were very, very faith-driven. Whereas his younger crowd was more towards the spirituality and the taking care of their bodies. They didn't have children. They didn't have a girlfriend. They were very wealth acceleration minded, okay? And so what we actually did was we created 2 different profiles of 2 different top of funnel ads that were going to bring in our ideal customer in 2 different ways. And so that's a very important thing that you have to identify. If you go back to the woman who was stressed out, we want to have that message that comes into at number 2. You want to be able to talk directly to them and make your audience feel like you're talking directly to them. Like I had a student who brought me some ad copy one time, and I never forget it because so pinpointed who I was. And so what she did was she helped stressed out entrepreneurs with meditation. And the way that she wrote that very first line, she was like, does it feel like every single client makes you want to crack open an entire and drink an entire bottle of wine? And I was like, oh my God, that's me, right? And so the more that if we do number one, right? Number one is knowing exactly who your customer avatar is and where they spend money, what they're feeling. Number two is getting down the messaging, because what you want to do is you want to figure out what are they doing at this exact moment that you're scrolling, right? So if you're targeting a broad audience like all women who are stressed out, you're going to have some really big inconsistencies on your messaging. So the more that you know about your audience, the more you know what they're doing while they're scrolling on their phone. Why are they aimlessly scrolling on Facebook? Is it because they're trying to escape a big test? Are they aimlessly scrolling on Facebook because they just had the hard day and they're just looking for cat photos? Are they aimlessly scrolling looking for a new job because their corporate boss is being a pain in the A, right? And so these are all things that we need to figure out about our clients before we could actually start to craft that perfect messaging. And so once we, number one, know who we're talking to, the second way is knowing what type of message that you're going to use to attract them, and three, actually putting those two things into the ads manager. So meaning when we're working on our audiences inside the ads manager, we're doing layered audiences. So let's say, I'll give you guys a real life example right now. Let's say we are trying to target a woman who has just started her life coaching business and she already has a decent amount of money coming in. And she takes care of herself. She goes to yoga every single day. She, is very into taking care of her body. She might not have a lot of time, so she probably orders something like, she probably uses Instacart. She probably orders like maybe Blue Apron boxes. See what I'm doing is I'm trying to get the juices flowing. And so now if I'm trying to attract a woman who is already making good, decent income, she takes care of herself, she's in the online space, I might do some targeting like, okay, she probably, if she's trying to be a life coach, she probably follows someone like Tony Robbins. She probably follows like Frank Kern. So I'd probably layer in some of those online marketing audiences. Okay, she's got a business, so I'm probably going to narrow that audience down to small business owners, entrepreneurship, business page admins. I'm going to click narrow audience again, and I'm probably going to put in Whole Foods. I'm probably going to put in Freshly. I'm probably going to put in Instacart. And then I'm probably going to narrow that audience again, and I'm probably going to put more yoga-based and SoulCycle and Peloton and Mirror. Do you see how I literally created 4 different layers of that audience in order to attract that ideal person? Okay, so those are the 3 things that you can do right now to improve the quality of your leads that you're going to bring in through Facebook advertising. And you guys know that my whole deal is I love utilizing video at the top of the funnel to bring these people in. And so what I would do personally is I would run videos that talk directly to that audience. Like, what are they doing as they're aimlessly scrolling through their newsfeed? And I would send video ads to them with that targeting. That way, we're only getting people to watch those videos who fit that ideal customer avatar. And of course, you're always going to have people that Facebook might have gotten it wrong, or maybe someone commented on your ad and their friends started seeing it organically. There's a whole bunch of different reasons why sometimes our ads get put in front of the wrong people. But at the end of the day, we want to make sure that 1, we know the exact person that we're trying to target. 2, that we're using exact messaging. How are they feeling at that moment that they are scrolling through Facebook? And number 3 is we want to make sure that we're putting that data inside the Facebook Ads Manager so that we can get those awesome results. I hope that you guys got a lot of value out of this episode. If you guys want my worksheet, if you're listening to the podcast, just send me a DM on Instagram at The Laurel Show. Or if you're just watching this on YouTube or on Facebook or Instagram, just drop me a comment below and I will be more than happy to send you my audience worksheet and my full masterclass on how I teach my students to do this very thing. Until next episode, guys, I'll see you guys later.